collateral that I will hold in order to do business with you. They break open your house one thing, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well hear this now, Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go, it come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on Saieed. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Remember, we are live on Synergy Network Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. nightly with a rerun the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Remember, we are also live on Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook, it's Real Talk with Saieed Ali. On YouTube, it's TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So viewers, you know, every night we always encourage you to share our live stream so friends and family abroad will be able to look at the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. It's only through Facebook, through YouTube. They're going to see us live. Remember, we deal with the issue, viewers, on a nightly basis. Our live is the #1. So viewers, feel free to call in 238-6716 to highlight your issues, to let us know what is going on in your community, to voice your concerns of what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Also remember, Real Talk is offering you 4% on fixed deposit, viewers. Nowhere in Trinidad and Tobago you are going to get those rates. Remember, electricity goes up, water going up. Every single thing in Trinidad and Tobago is going up presently. From next month, it's going to be a whole different scenario with price structure. And we are going to feel it. This is the budget week, viewers. A lot of panels are discussing the budget. The budget. How is the budget going to affect your pocket? How is it going to affect your pocket? So viewers, remember, just how the budget came out, price will be increasing, just so you would need now extra cash on your hard-earned savings that you have in the bank. So, fixed deposit wise, it's only with Real Talk Company you're getting 4%. No other places, no other financial institution, no one is going to tell you that your 4% is guaranteed. 4% per year on $100,000, that is $4,000 per year. Now, at the end of 5 years, you're going to get $20,000. Now, $20,000 is going to cover your light bill, your water rate, your telephone bill for 5 years. So remember, viewers, get in contact with our office, set up an appointment. Come on down. Our numbers are 238-6716, 339-1670, 242-7690, and 267-7325. If you want to contact me directly, you can contact me at 339-1670, or you can WhatsApp me at 267-7325. It's my WhatsApp number. So remember that, viewers, our business place is at number 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Shogunas, and we are open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Our south office is the same thing. They are located at 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village in San Fernando. The hours are also 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. So as we start our program tonight, several business chambers have stated that they support the government move to increase the minimum wage from $17.50 to $20.50 per hour in its 2023-2024 budget. In a release, the Chamber of Industries and Commerce stated that the increase now requires employers and employees to focus on efficiency, productivity, and output. However, while commending the increase, the president of the Greater San Fernando Chamber and Commerce, Kiran Singh, hoped this would not result in higher prices for consumers or customers. The American Chambers of Commerce, AmCham, also support the move. Both AmCham and the TTCIC noted measures geared towards improving and growing the country's non-energy sector. So I am also supporting the increased, viewers, from the $17.50 to the $20.50 an hour. Remember that? We here at Real Talk, we are supporting it, viewers. Now, both AmTran and TTCIC noted measures geared towards improving a greater and a growing country and the non-energy sector also. While Minister of Finance Clem Imbert said foreign exchange shortage will be addressed in 2024, the TTIC, that is the Trinidad and Tobago Chambers of Industry, added that the issue needed to be addressed urgently. So how urgently now is Clem Imbert going to address this? Remember viewers, Republic Bank recently cut their US credit card by half. So the businessmen now who have a $10,000 credit card, you have $5,000. If you have $5,000, you have $2,500 US to spend now. How are you going to purchase stocks to replenish your business with that reduced figure? How are you going to do that? Now, meanwhile, AmTran expressed concerns over the lack of firm timeline for the implementation of National Statistical Institute. Let me tell you something. You see, this month, business places have already purchased their items to sell in their business place. You see, from November month, when businessmen have to purchase items for their stores and business place, they are going to feel it. Instead of spending $10,000, you're going to have $5,000. So technically now, you're reducing the size of your business. You're cutting down on spending because what you have is what you're going to spend. We won't see the rippling effect now, you know. You see, a month, 2 months from now, then we're going to see it. Then we are going to see it. And you will be so amazed to know how business will be cutting down. Moving along. Whether citizens like it or not, a rate hike is coming in the utility sector. Clem Imbert seemed to be preparing the population for the reality as he acknowledged the lower an electricity rate paid by homeowners. I told you it's coming. I told you it's coming. There was an announcement when T&Tech decided to raise their rates. I told you right after that WASA is going to follow. About a week or 2 weeks after that, WASA announced also an increase in their water rate. Imbert reiterated that the population pays the lowest water rate in the Caribbean despite using twice as much water compared to people in other territories. You see, the thing with Imbert and the thing with the administration that governs the country, they always look at some other country. They always judge us from other country. But the bloody hell shameful part of it is that these duncy head want to be bright individuals fail to realize that they are talking about Trinidad, the country that they are from. They want to embarrass Trinidad, but they don't realize it's themselves they're embarrassing because they are the one that govern Trinidad. Every time something have to come up, it's always about some other country, and this other country, and that other country, and the next other country, while we suffer like some dogs on the street here. But Imbert telling us now, we paying a cheaper water rate than other country. Other country getting a 24-hour supply. Imbert, you duncy head individual short man, how many hours of supply is the lower class individuals in Trinidad and Tobago getting? I'm asking you that. I'm asking you that. Are we getting a 24-hour water supply? But you're yapping your little short mouth that, oh, Trinidadians paying less money than outsiders. Outsiders government has seen about their people. Are you seen about yours? I'm asking you that. Are you seen about yours? You're yapping your short tail. Calling it people afraid to call you short man. Saieed afraid, you know. because you're damn well short. And if you're short, you're short. There are no two ways about that. Now, he stated that we consume on a per capita base average daily water at 82 gallons per day, almost double the regional average of 46 gallons per day. Is it same? Now I've been saying this. All you're always classing Trinidad and Tobago with some other country. All you cannot fix the bloody hell country, but always condemning us as our people. You're always condemning Barpo, Pinal, Cedros, Princess Tom, San Fernando, Shogunas. We do not have a 24-hour water supply, but you're quick to jump on, oh, we consuming more water than other countries. Other countries getting a full 24-hour supply. How much we getting? When we get water one time in 7 days, or 2 times in 7 days, or 1 time in a month, call them in both your short tail. And you will consume more water now? Instead of you have one washing machine of one basket of clothes to wash. At the end of 2 weeks, you will have 2 and 3 baskets because you don't have water. How will I so buy? How will I so illiterate at the same time? But then again, my fellow brethren, not everybody has common sense. So they rather judge other country and condemn our own country. See, just complaining about water. See, just complaining about water. One time for the month they getting water. How much time Colin Imbut getting water? So when Colin Imbut could use 5 gallons for the day, see just now begging for water. Because when Colin Imbut washing 1 basket of clothes per week, don't see just them have water, clothes backing up. So when they do get water now, it's 4 and 5 baskets of clothes they have to wash. Oh God, Colin Imbut, do the maths now, man. And use an accountant, use a backdoor accountant or a donkey head accountant. I am asking you that. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead, your life.
Imitation back ingredient. 2 things I want to talk. I want to compare Trinidad to a country I believe we rank in with, and that is Haiti. Without any doubt, Trinidad is similar to the Haiti in the late 1999 or early 2000. Without a doubt, that is a given. I've been to Haiti several times, and I saw what was happening there with all the gangs, and Trinidad is like that now. What I want to talk about, the education minister and the education system, her responses to the bomb threat in Presentation College, in Naparima, and it had a shootout right in front of St. Joseph College in St. Joseph. What are we seeing now? What is the ministry doing? How proactive they are? Why is the policeman, senior police officer, get up from their nap and say, yes, sir? Now, 2 things I want to recommend, and I hope she's listening. They want to give out laptops. Giving out laptops is only artificial. You want to improve the use of the laptop and give some deliverers with respect to it. So I am asking her to make IT a component, a must-do for CXC. So this is what I'm saying. English, maths, a foreign language, preferably Spanish, because we have a lot of Venezuelans, and IT. So people will be encouraged with using the laptop. The other thing I'm seeing today, it had a major accident with a school bus, carrying one of those small minivans carrying school children, the yellow school bus. I want to know, what are we doing to protect the children? Does that vehicle have the requisite insurance to facilitate if something untoward happens to the child? I want to know. That should be something the state looking after, to make sure all of these vehicles that carry school children have requisite insurance.
Thank you, my friend. Now, viewers, stay with the water and input. Now, the water rate is US 31 cents per cubic meter. is the lowest in the Caribbean, which is why WASA was supported in the amount of a $8.1 billion bill over the period 2019 to 2023. Listen to this.
We consume on a per capita basis average daily water at 82 gallons per day, almost double the regional average of 46 gallons per day. However, our water rate of US 31 cents per cubic meter is the lowest in the Caribbean, which is why we have had to support WASA in the amount of $8.1 billion over the period 2019 to 2023. We are also providing 12,170 low-income households with a rebate on their water bills.
We are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to hear Imbert said the state is developing WASA into a more efficient service, injecting $1.05 billion. You're going to hear more on that after this break.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. Realtor Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtor Group of Companies building at number 14 Crony Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carony Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
So now, viewers, Imbert said the state is developing WASA into a more effective service, injecting over $1 billion in capital investment to achieve the objective. However, he said, it must emphasize that at great cost to taxpayers, water and electricity price to consumer in Trinidad and Tobago are heavily subsidized. Imbert noted that the T&T Electricity Commission is in a similar situation as the country's electricity tariffs of US 0.052 per kilowatt. So we are almost paying 52 cents per kilowatt an hour. And the second lowest in the Caribbean, again, they will say something, you know. In the Caribbean again, they always blaming Trinidad. We pay the lowest. We have the worst set of supplies, but we pay the lowest. Stop judging Trinidad to other countries. Stop comparing Trinidad to other countries. Other countries are better than Trinidad. Hear this now. Last week when I was in Guyana, Are you going to feel this is a joke, eh? The low-income homes that the government in Guyana is building for the citizens is better than the HDC houses that the government have for poor people in our country. Take what I tell you. I was there last week. I spent 5 days in Guyana. The low-income homes that the government is building in Guyana for their citizens is better than the HDC houses that have in Trinidad. I was there last week. I checked it out myself. When I saw the houses and them, I was like, wow. The government built this? Yes, Saieed. I said, but we HDC houses in Trinidad that the government built, it's like a skeleton stand up. It's bare concrete walls. If you see the houses across there that the government is building. So tonight, viewers, I want to thank Saieed Ali and Jagdeo for really coming out and helping the lower class of people in their country. Because in our country, the low-income houses, let me tell you something, it's like dog mess. I live in Trinidad and I tell you all that. Call a good night.
Good night, my lord.
Hey, Prem.
Aye, boy. This man already budget is a madman. He and them fellas in Sinai, boy. They lie a couple of years and tell people again them back pay for close of Christmas and again nothing, and then people believe that it's back pay they're going to get. And he given CPF more money. And what about the garbage man was supplying 3 days? Why ain't give back the garbage man 5 days, walk back? These fellas getting pressure outside there. If they can't, people pull out and them using we as back out there. Them checkers and them supervisors and them. They don't care about we again, Mike.
Thank you, my friend. Hello, the here next bacchanal. Here it is. I'm going to tell you something. It's only on Real Talk all is get these things, you know. Only on Real Talk, you know. Imut said TNT cannot pay for natural gas at current rate, thus costing the national gas company almost over $500 million a year. Listen to this.
Our electricity consumption in 2019 averaged 5,911 kilowatts per hour per capita, compared with the world average of 3,081 kilowatts per hour per capita. Our electricity tariff of US 0.052 cents, or $0.052, 5.2 cents US, per kilowatt hour is the second lowest in the Caribbean region. Cuba is the only other country with a lower tariff at 3 cents US per kilowatt hour. In Barbados, the tariff is US 0.271 per kilowatt hour, 27 US cents, or 5 times the price in Trinidad and Tobago. With electricity generation dependent on natural gas, we are paying dearly to subsidize the consumption of approximately 8% of the total natural gas produced in the country to generate electricity, which gas could be sold at a profit on international markets by the National Gas Company. Worse yet, TNT cannot pay for natural gas at current rates, thus costing the National Gas Company almost over $500 million a year.
So I want to ask Colin about something. The cabinet of the day in March raised the gas price in Trinidad and Tobago for their citizens who they serve. In Guyana, in Barbados, around the same time in March of this year, their governments of their countries lowered the gas price. So when they hear Colin members start to talk about we paying the cheapest, tell Colin able to take some sleeping tablets. Jagdeo and Efran lower the gas price for their citizens to be better. Barbados, me and Motley did the same thing. In Trinidad, we increase it to suffer our citizens. But he want to come up now on the budget and talk about, oh, we paying the cheapest. They better in their country. What are they doing for Trinidadians? What are they doing for Trinbagonians? All they want to murder we. Prices so high we can't even afford. Now, the minister added that the state also provides 121,000 low-income households with a rebate of 35% on their electricity bill, which will cost $268 million between 2019 and 2023. Last year, the Ministry of Public Utility received an allocation of $2.5 billion. Is our country getting better? I want to ask you this. Is our country, Trinidad and Tobago, getting better? How many of you could call in and say, yes, Saieed, our country getting better? How many of you could do that? Let me tell you something. In Barbados, if this program was going live, callers would have called in. In Guyana, they would have said, yes, Saieed, our president and our vice president is working for us. Is our president working for Trinidad? I'm asking you something. I'm asking you something. It's sad. It's stinking sad what we are currently facing in our country. Minister of Finance Colin Members stated that the government will keep their price of motor fuel at the pump at the current level for now. So maybe before the year, they might raise it again. But keep in mind, the price was raised in March of 2023. I want to let you keep that in mind. When Guyana dropped their prices and Barbados dropped their prices, this is the only country in the Caribbean raised the price of fuel. In France, when they raised it by 10 cents, France nearly burned down. Because the citizens work for an average amount and they cannot pay that 10 cents more on fuel. So they strike. We say, you know what? If we can't go 5 days, we go 4 days. If we can't go 4 days, we go 3 days. And that is the whole idea about it. It's sad. It's sad. So we are going for a short commercial break, viewers, but when we come back, we're going to stick with the fuel price in Trinidad and Tobago. There's lots more to discuss after that.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. And we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. Real Talk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Grooney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
So viewers, before we go any further, you know, we friends of Real Talk. You know, it really slipped my mind to give them a big up in Trinidad just now. So we have Vinud Dipchan of apartment 4, Lipo 76, John Street, Shogunas, Montrose. I am offering $10,000 for any member of the public who could bring this car to Saieed. It's a Toyota Aqua PEA 578. Anybody, whether you be a bailiff, a police, a protective officer, anybody, security guard, anybody, $10,000 if you find that car. Also, I'm offering $10,000 if anybody could locate Marissa Mohammed. She lives at P.O. Box 56, Pasture Extension Road in Tunapuna. She also holds Real Talk, and we are offering $10,000 for this car. PDZ 8917, it's a Toyota Corolla. Anybody, I don't care who you are. You find she, you find the car, you bring the car. Up to today, I was telling some police officers that I say, all I hand the condom for the car, you know. The count is on, 10,000 each. 10,000 each. I mean, everybody hustling, you know. And it's the same thing with Raquel. Raquel was up in my arrow for the weekend, but Raquel feel I ain't know that. But what I want to tell Raquel, right? Now, Raquel Bain Sazano of Lot 3, Solomon Street, my arrow. $10,000 is also being awarded to any member of the public for this X-Trail. PCM 9482. It's a white X-Trail, viewers. And I could tell you something, I'm getting some information on that X-Trail. Boy, I don't know what kind of cookery thing that they're doing, you know. But I'm telling you, just now police going to be investigating that X-Trail. Because this, come back to me. Because the searches we're doing and the info that coming in, the X on the trail may not be the X-Trail. All I understand what I'm saying? The X on the trail may not be the X-Trail. All I understand what I'm saying? Because I have some PIs investigating something. And let me tell you something. It's sad, boy, Raquel. It's sad. You know what more sad? You working in the army. And imagine you running on criminals, bandits that thieving citizens, and you take my money and go on. So how you call yourself? How you call yourself? Eh? Go buy a lawyer and answer a defamation character letter for me. Let me show you what I go do. Let me show you and your lawyer what side go do. Well, if you're out here just so. Well, if you're out here just so. No, it's spirit work and lawyer back and more proper. Proper. So when you tell yourself, Saeed, you can't do that and you can't say this, and man, screw you, man. I will tell you what I need to tell you on national television. I'm a licensed money lender and I know my rights. You can't come and try to dictate my pace. You take my money and go and you count yourself just like a bandit. With Norissa and Venus is the same way. So, we're going back to Embert. Now, Minister of Finance Embert stated that the government will keep the promise of motor fuel at the pump. This after he was questioned on if persons could see a lower price at the pump in 2024 given the price of global crude oil. Embert stated that the government cannot have a knee-jerk reaction because if we were to adjust the fuel price, it may cause problem in the terms of fuel subsidy. Listen to Embert.
The fact of the matter is that prices are so volatile. I have looked at the price of oil over the last couple of months and it's unbelievable what's happening with the price. You know, it dropped down to $70, just like that. Then it's gone up to $90. I haven't checked to see what it was today, but a couple days ago I was quite shocked to see the price of Brent oil hit $97. I think it was 95 on budget day. That is such an unpredictable environment. So many things are going on. You know, you have the three big players in the oil world. You have United States, Saudi Arabia, Russia. Those are the three big players. Anytime something happens with any of those three, the price of oil changes. And right now there's a move by Saudi Arabia and Russia to get the price up. We don't know what would happen next year. You have US elections coming, so there may be some pressure being put on the players to get the price down. The fact of the matter is, we as a government can't have a knee-jerk reaction. We have to watch this thing. Because if, for example, we were to adjust the price of gas now, and next week oil hits $100, that is going to create problems for us in terms of the fuel subsidy.
So I want to ask Colin Membert on national television. I understand what you're saying. My question is, how the hell Guyana adjusted their price? And how the hell Barbados adjusted their price? With the same global price that you are speaking about. Could you answer that for the population of Trinidad and Tobago? The same fuel price you are telling us, Guyana and Barbados adjusted their price. And you telling us that we pay the lowest and they are adjusting their price. Something in the water beside the pestle, as we would say. The minister said in 2022 the fuel subsidy was $2.4 billion. And while budgeting for a $1 billion subsidy, pressure was put on other aspects of the budget. He added that the government will keep the price of motor fuel at the pump at the current level for now, and is not going to be raising the price of gas, isn't it?
You would have seen in the budget statement, I said that in 2022, the fuel subsidy was $2.4 billion. We didn't plan for that. We planned for just over $1 billion. And therefore we had to find that extra $1.4 billion. And it has to come from somewhere. It doesn't grow on a tree. So when you have to subsidize gas to the tune of $2.4 billion, when you budgeted only for $1 billion, it puts pressure on other areas of the budget. So we're going to keep prices at the current level for now. And we will keep monitoring and see whether these trends that we're seeing, or oil is going 90 to 70, 70 to 90, 80, 85, 95, just all over the place, to see whether there's any trend that is outside there, or whether we can't predict what's going to happen. So the answer is, we are not raising the price of gas, if that is your question.
Okay.
Now, viewers, in his budget presentation, Mbut said that because of the extreme volatility of the oil price, it was difficult to estimate the required fuel subsidy in 2024 accurately, but stated that it may well reach $1 billion again. So if you can't average the price now, how you could say reaching $1 billion again? How you could say that? I tell you, we have some kind of minister running this country, yeah? It's a shame, you know. It's a bloody hell shame. But you know what's the best thing about it? Saieed always bashing. Even though I am educating you all, I bashing. Colin Membert talking about they can't adjust the fuel price. Guyana and Barbados adjusted their fuel price. They dropped the price for their citizens. Our country, our government, our cabinet, they raised it. So if I educate you, the citizen, on that now, I bash in the administration. Sometimes I just wonder, you know, myself. Moving along, the $3 increase in minimum wage set to come effect on January 1st, 2024 is seen by the government as a sweet spot in addressing the concerns of both business and workers. Energy Minister Stuart Young stated that the government adjusted the wage increase after considering that any greater increase could have seen the cost of living affected further. Young stated that some union leaders were asking for $30, and he questioned what does it do to the smaller business, for example, a bakery. He said the sweet pot or the sweet spot that the government came to was $20.50 per hour, which is estimated to help 200,000 persons in society. Listen to this.
This is something that we looked at in deciding what rate to increase the minimum wage to. You would have heard some people calling for more. But of course, the consideration we had to bear in mind is exactly what you hit that nail on the head. If you increase the minimum wage to, let's say, what some union leaders were asking for, $30, what does it do to the smaller businesses? What does it do to the cost of the product that they're selling? For example, a bakery, will they not just increase now the cost of the products they're selling, etc.? So it's a balancing exercise.
So you believe that $3 was manageable?
That is the sweet spot that we came to, $20.50. It does do, as Dr. Ramkisoon said, it's going to help we estimate about 200,000 people in our society by raising their capacity a few $100 extra in their pockets, which is going to make a huge difference. But it's not too high that it puts it at that price where businesses are now justified in raising the price and the product they're selling.
Now, viewers, I welcome the increase. The Realtor Group welcome the increase. But the thing is, how many business places out there in Trinidad and Tobago will be able to cope with it? Let's wait and see. Meanwhile, economist Marlene Ates was asked if a payment plan for utilities could be introduced for small and micro enterprise who would now face these expenses. Marlene said, while she supported the increase in minimum wage, there are persons who were living on $2,000 or $2,800 a month, and added that the wider set of issues may be looked at. Ates noted that the support to some of these businesses will be significant, particularly to the micro business. Listen to this.
Those people who are employing 5, 6, 10 workers for whom they would want to increase the wage. They probably pay higher than the minimum wage already, but when you layer some of the additional costs, so I'm looking, while I support the increase in the minimum wage because I think it is almost unconscionable that people were living on $2,000 or $2,800 a month, as the case might be. I think we have to look at the wider set of issues and essentially the domino impact of this measure that we're putting in place. If it is that we're layering on top of the additional labor costs, utility costs, etc., I think then the question that you raised earlier, the support to some of these businesses, I think, will be significant, particularly the micro businesses.
So viewers, while we support the increase, we know things are getting expensive and individuals will want to carry home a better salary. So while we supporting the increase, there are other aspects we have to look at. But nevertheless, as the budget goes on, we're going to continue with the debate also right here on Real Talk with Saieed Ali. So we are going for a short commercial break, viewers, but when we come back, we're going to hear a $95 million boost for TTPS to tackle crime after this.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. Realtor Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtor Group of Companies building at number 14 Grooney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I just want to give you a little information for those of you who do not know. There's a document that I'm going to show you all coming to begging. Reduce the size. So viewers, this is the Children Act, chapter 46.06, Laws of Trinidad and Tobago, current authorized page. Now listen to this. Offense in regulation to begging. You can zoom it up, let the people see the writing. Now, remember, throughout Trinidad and Tobago, we would see parents that have their child begging with them on the streets. Now, according to the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, it is against the law. It is against the law. Offense in relation to begging. Number 5, 1. A person cause or produce any child or having responsibility of a child allows that child to be in any streets, premises, or other place for the purpose of begging within or without a written approval of the authority commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of $3,000 and 6 months imprisonment. Now I want to let you understand that any parent that is on the streets of Trinidad and Tobago begging without a written document from any authority, they could be fined $3,000 and 6 months in prison. So Trinidad and Tobago, I just want to let you understand that. I want to let you understand that. Read it carefully. A person who calls or produce a child or have responsibility of a child, allow that child to be in any street premises or other places of the purpose for begging without a written approval of the authority commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction of $3,000 and 6 months imprisonment. Come on. So Trinidad and Tobago, when you see a mother with her child on the streets begging, that is an offense. Now many of us in Trinidad would want to stop and give them money. We want to give them money. Why does the mother can't work? Where's the father? So I just want to share that with you so you all will understand that they are committing an offense. They are begging without a document. It is a law in Trinidad and Tobago. I just want to let you understand that. Now back to our program. Speaking at length on the TNT safety and the TGPS, Finance Minister Clement stated that this government remains disturbed at the senseless level of murders within our society. He noted that the total number of active police officers is constantly affected by mandatory retirement or resignation of officers and by the number of officers on vacation or other form of leaves. However, Emma stated that in order to bring the police service back up to full strength, the Commissioner of Police will triple the intake of police recruit in 2024 for the usual annual intake of 300 a year to 1,000 recruits in 2024. Listen to this.
Further, the total number of active police officers is constantly affected by mandatory retirement or resignation of officers from the service and by the number of officers on vacation or other forms of leave. Accordingly, to bring the police service back up to full strength, we have mandated the Commissioner of Police to triple the intake of police recruits in 2024 from the usual annual intake of 300 recruits a year to 1,000 recruits in 2024.
So while on this topic of TGPS, I want to ask the Commissioner of Police, Earl Hayward Christopher, the officers that you move from fraud squad, I believe it is about 75% of the officers from fraud squad. Madam, when are you going to form back the fraud squad division in Trinidad and Tobago? Because you take about 75 officers from fraud squad and you scatter them in Trinidad and Tobago. Not serving fraud squad department. They are elsewhere. They're not doing fraud squad work. They're not following up on fraud documents. So I want to know now, the 75% of the officers and them that you took from a fraud squad division, when are you going to replace those 75% of the officers that you scatter all over Trinidad and Tobago that are not doing fraud work? Well, following up on fraud. Dooley, 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 do, do, do. Kola, good night.
Yeah, good night, Said.
Go right ahead, your life.
Mr. Imbut should remove the subsidy from all vehicles which government minister purchases. And the property tax should be paid by the owner of all multi-dwelling house owners instead of thinking about the gas subsidy.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, talking about property tax. Here they say, the government want us, only residential will pay. But how many ministers in Trinidad and Tobago have commercial buildings? Did you all know that almost all the ministers own a commercial building? And that is why they haven't brought forth the commercial taxes yet? And only residential? Or let's thought the government stupid? No, it's we that catch. It's people like me and you that catch. While they getting exempted, we pay any residential tax. So if all didn't know that, all know that tonight. Now, the budget includes additional support mechanism for the TTPS, including $80 million for new vehicles and equipment over and above the 2023 allocation. Imbut added that this allocation will allow police to extend and establish more community patrols to give the police greater presence and visibility within communities and the citizens a greater sense of comfort. Imbut.
An additional allocation totaling $80 million has been included in 2024 for new vehicles and equipment for the police, over and above the allocations in 2023. This additional sum will allow the police to expand and establish more community patrols to give the police greater presence and visibility within communities and citizens a greater sense of comfort Let me repeat, we are giving them an additional $80 million for new vehicles and equipment to expand and establish community patrols to give the police presence and visibility within communities and citizens a greater sense of comfort.
Now, viewers, the minister said a contract at an estimated cost of $90 million for the supply, delivery, installation of 4 large-scale, non-intrusive inspection scanners for shipping container will be in place in 2024.
To detect the importation of illegal arms, new modern scanners are being procured for the ports, bonded warehouses and transit sheds. We have awarded a contract at an estimated cost of $90 million for the supply, delivery, installation, and commissioning of 4 large-scale, non-intrusive inspection scanners for shipping.
Minister, okay, I know this might be a topic that people want to be engaged in, but I'm having difficulty in hearing the minister. So I'd ask members to please compose themselves until the debate. They'll have a lot of time to speak. Minister.
Madam Speaker, I know they don't want to hear that we have awarded a contract at an estimated cost of $90 million to show how important we see this for the supply, delivery, installation, and commissioning of 4 large-scale, non-intrusive inspection scanners for shipping containers, which we will deploy at the ports of Port of Spain and Point Lisas. These scanners will be operational in 2024. Don't want to hear that.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I have a little intel on the scanners. But I am only waiting to hear what brand of scanners that they're going to be importing into Trinidad and Tobago to scan container. And let me tell you something, I will unfold a little bacchanal on the pricing. We go unfold a little bacchanal on the pricing. But I'm just waiting just to hear the brand. I have everything in place, you know. Everything in place. I just want to hear the brand to bring the exact price to you. Opposition leader Kamala Prasad-Biswas has stated that people are earning the minimum wage, are scraping the barrel, and increasing the minimum wage to $20.50 is not enough. Listen to this.
I had called for the minimum wage as well. Many persons did. Because those persons who are living on minimum wage at the moment are really scraping the barrel. They're really suffering. There's tremendous suffering. And by increasing this minimum wage now to the $20.50, it's not enough. Those persons are still to be at the lower level, lower rung of society, surviving and struggling. And on top of that, your plan is to introduce property tax. Bring property tax. He said he's not introducing any new tax. Property tax is a new tax.
So Trinidad and Tobago, you have viewed Real Talk with Saieed Ali, the #1 current affairs program on Synergy Television from 7 to 8 p.m. Remember, we at Real Talk here, we are offering you 4% on fixed deposit. Remember that. So until we meet again, good night.
Thank you.